All right, I am Danny Marie. I am a mother, a podcaster, and a coach and content creator who, like many of us, has been engrossed in the Nolan Wells case. Just last week or so, when Janetta, the young lady who enhanced the audio, she premiered that video, and I was on Facebook around 3 a.m., around the time that she premiered it, and I reshared it just because, like many of us do, we want to help amplify the case. We're very into the case because for a lot of us, it's personal, right? That said, I saw an immediate uptick in my following, not intended, but it just so happened. And I felt a duty to continue sharing and continue supporting the efforts. And that said, I also felt an obligation to be able to give my offerings, right? And the only way that I know how to do that is to create. Um, Sometimes it's using my podcast platform to amplify things that I feel are very personal to the Black community. Sometimes it's creating a piece of content and sharing it out as a reel. This time, it was me taking pieces from all of the journalists, influencers, and everyone in between to create something like a Wikipedia page for the Nolan Wells case. Because for me personally, if I'm going to be sharing, I want to feel like I know a little bit more about what I'm speaking about. But what has been a big deterrent for me is everything is kind of being meal pieced together, and with a busy lifestyle like myself, and I'm sure like many others, either it's hard to retain and process it all, or it's very overwhelming, or you feel like you are in a, for lack of better words, rabbit hole, just trying to sift through everybody's opinions, everyone's point of view, everyone's take, everyone's journalism of the case. So what I did was create the Nolan Wells case information map. And I went to the top platforms, again, that I feel like have been reporting the case. And I even went to some people that I don't really care for, but I know that they have a big following and people who are listening and in tune. You guys might hear people in the background, they're painting our house. So, Don Lemon, Secret Sam, Officer Tatum, Janetta, Nancy Grace, I'm Not a Lawyer But, Sarah Fields, and there were a few others. I took most of their reporting from July 4th until current to create what we now have as the Nolan Wells case information map. So it has the overview, the timeline, coverage, claims, evidence, theories, open questions, and method and sources. It's currently incomplete because I want to add a space where people could add and correct the data, and maybe they don't get direct access to be able to do that because we do want to try to protect it as best as we can. But maybe they can submit through a Google form and we'll take the culmination of that information and update it accordingly, like maybe every night or so. So I'm thinking I want to add an option so people could update the information here. And I also want to have it so that we have an AI chat bot. So instead of having to sift through all of this, if you don't want to, you can immediately type your questions in the bot. um, in order to get the questions you need if you need them sooner than later. Um, so like for instance, coverage. Secret Service Sam, he's an independent creator, high volume investigative commentator who tests some propositions but also advances interpretations of unauthenticated enhanced audio, separate original observations from material repeated from others. And then if I was to click this, I could go to his Facebook page directly. Then I can add to compare up to 3 individuals or platforms. And so that I need to work on to make sure that when we do add, we can sift out the others. Okay, there it is. Just press enter. So yeah, the side-by-side framing helps tremendously. If you're a person like me, who again just gets overwhelmed with all of the information that's out there, you need it to be in one central location. That is what we have in this Nolan Wells case information map. Now again, I'm just a mother and a creator. I do not profess myself to be any person who intends on reporting to the level of Don Lemon or any of the other influencers here. That's why I'm redirecting you back to them. But what I can do, and what I did for my own needs, was create something that helps people bring all of the information together. Some of the claims. Nolan voluntarily stayed on the island with a young woman. Nolan was the person yelling about a phone in a circulating video. Nolan attended a mainland pool party after he disappeared. Some of the theories. All right, so some people believe that it was an accidental drowning after staying voluntarily. Some people believe it's an accidental water entry during the boat emergency. Right? So I'm going to premiere this all tomorrow after I work out the last bit of kinks. It's not going to be perfect, right? But it is going to be something as a tool to help, again, bring the pieces together and provide clarity for those people who just feel overstimulated looking and listening to the internet. I want to add that AI chat bubble, and I want to add the like a Google form that can help keep the information as updated and accurate as possible. If there's something incorrect, we can try to, at least for the most part, there's a lot of stuff here that's, a lot of claims that are out there. So there's a lot of inaccuracy. But basically just like how Wikipedia is, people could comment, update. We'll try to have it to where at least on the Google form you can comment and update, and we'll try to match it up against what other people are saying. And if it gets ruled out, it gets ruled out. But again, let's not forget, I have people on here like Tatum and Sarah Fields, some of the biggest opposition to the case. And so it's not that I'm trying to be one-sided or narrow-minded. It's bringing all of the elements together. That's how I guess true forensics goes, just taking yourself out of the equation and looking at it from a distance, objectively. So comment the word Nolan. I am not getting paid for this. I'm not charging for this. I'm not trying to be a grifter. Like I said, I'm just a regular person. People who know me. And this was something that I needed because I felt an obligation since I have seen an uptick in my presence. I'm like, I have to at least back it up somehow. And this is what I felt compelled in my heart to do because I needed it and because I want to support others who might need it too. Comment the word Nolan, and I'll make sure that when we do launch it tomorrow, you get the copy.